Good day, my name is Terry Difazio, and you're watching Dial It Up on NEK-TV. Today we have Madeliene Roy of the Green Mountain United Way. Welcome, Madeliene.
Good morning.
I'm glad to have you on. What is your exact title?
My title is Community Development and Marketing Director.
And exactly what sort of things are you responsible for?
Well, I guess maybe I'll start out by saying that Green Mountain United Way covers 5 counties in Vermont.
Okay.
That's all of the Northeast Kingdom, as well as Washington and Orange counties. And for those 5 counties, I do all the marketing for the organization. That means press releases, TV shows like this one, any type of marketing, Facebook, Twitter, any of that stuff, our website, and so basically promoting the stuff that we do for those 5 counties, for the people in the 5 counties.
Well, I'm glad that you're taking advantage of us here. We're here to serve the public, and it sounds like you are also. First of all, how long have you been doing this?
I've been with Green Mountain United Way for a little over 12 years.
Okay. And how has it changed over the years? Or has it changed at all over the years?
It has changed considerably.
Okay.
When I first started, the United Way was basically one that was kind of a pass-through organization, and by that I mean that people donate funds to us, and then we would turn around and donate that money to what we called member agencies. Probably 5 years ago, I'm guessing now, I can't remember the exact time, but 5 or 6 years ago, the United Way changed, got away from member agencies, and we doing our own grants where any nonprofit organization can apply to us for funds, and as long as their programs are in line with our initiatives, which are education, income, and health.
Okay.
Now, those are pretty broad statements, and as we go along here today, I will be explaining each one of those initiatives, but we do a lot of the programs ourselves as well, rather not just giving grants, but and we didn't used to do that. So that was the biggest shift in our work, was to actually do some of the programs ourselves.
Okay, because I've read your mission statement, and it's a very good mission statement, and it covers a lot of ground.
It does.
And part of the process today, having you here on the show, is to get down to the specifics, because as you know, you can say a lot of things, and they can be very general, and then somebody will always ask the question, and that's where you come in to explain it to people. Okay, how are you going to do this? For example, the mission statement says, discuss various aspects of how you accomplish some of these things. So first of all, how many volunteers do you have?
We can have as many as up to 400 volunteers in a year.
Oh, okay. And that's all over the state? Or just,
no, there are 5 counties.
Just your 5 counties,
There are
okay.
5 counties, yes. Those volunteers range from our board members, our committee members, right down to people who come into each one of our offices and stuff envelopes, that sort of thing. Some of them are long-term volunteers, some of them are just one time, one day when we need somebody's help. But collectively, it's anywhere between 300 and 400 volunteers in a year's time.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good number.
It is. It's a very big number.
Mm-hmm.
And
probably a lot of responsibility too, isn't it?
It is
for you.
For some of us,
Yeah.
yes. And I guess I'm going to back up and say, even though we cover 5 counties, you would think that we had a large staff. We don't. Covering those 5 counties, there are 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We have 3 offices. Our head office is in Barrie, and we have an office in St. Johnsbury, where one of my coworkers mans that office, and then
Okay.
my office here in Derby Line.
Oh, okay. So you guys aren't exactly close together. There's
We're
a little
not.
Bit, little bit of travel involved.
A little bit, but thank God for email
Yeah.
and you know, the computer that we can see each other and have online meetings, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah. Imagine trying to do this with snail mail.
well, years ago it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, you can't cover the things that you're able to cover.
No, that's right.
I was looking in here about prevention programs. What sort of prevention programs do you provide?
Well, those are our 3 initiatives that I mentioned: education, income, and health. Those are basically prevention programs. In education, we actually, the United Way has done a lot of research over the years, and I think it's probably a well-known fact now that babies learn right from the time they're born.
Oh, yes.
So it is our goal to help parents and grandparents and caregivers to help those children learn right from the time they're born, so that they are better prepared when they get to preschool and kindergarten age. So we're doing programs to encourage parents to read to the babies and toddlers,
Oh, yeah.
to work with them, interact with them on a daily basis. And it doesn't have to be you know, rigid training, more or less, but any fun everyday activity can be a learning experience for them. And as we all know, children have minds like sponges, so they learn a lot faster than some of us who have been at it for many years.
It's been proven that learning a language is much easier when you're younger than when you're older.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, unfortunately, our statistics, especially in the Northeast Kingdom, are that close to 50% of our toddlers are not ready when they get to preschool and kindergarten age. They're maybe as much as 2 years behind their peers. So that's not a good statistic, and we're trying to better that percentage from the time they're born. So when we were talking about income, we find a lot of people who are not financially stable. So
Okay.
we are out there actively giving financial literacy workshops for people who want to take part in them. We give basic budgeting. There are classes in savings, credit, how to use credit, how to properly use credit.
Yes.
How to read and understand credit scores and credit reports, how to repair bad credit, anything up to identity theft and fraud, and we even get into investing and retirement planning.
Well, that sounds like something that everybody should have. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely, and we're finding a lot of success with that because people are wanting that information so that they can move to a better place in their lives.
Well, I think that's phenomenal that you guys are doing this. I was also going to ask, what sort of educational programs do you currently have running?
Well, basically what we do is, it's not specifically an education program, but we work very closely with Building Bright Futures, which is councils. There are 12 councils in the state, across the state, and there's one here based in Newport. And we advocate for parents and the children, actually, so that they have access to the best education possibilities that they can have.
Okay, and how early do you start education? For example, on a formal level, how 4, 5, 6 years old? Do you start there, or can you go even like people that are in their teens, for example?
We can. If somebody came to us and said, you know, we would like to start a program in high school,
Oh, okay.
or something like that, we might be able to help them to get that off the ground.
Okay.
You know. One other thing that we do in education is we often partner with for-profit businesses,
Okay.
and they'll take a day where they have any of their employees come and volunteer to make what we call children's literacy kits.
Mm-hmm.
And the company will buy books that are age appropriate,
Okay.
and then the employees get together and they make little hands-on tools that match what's in the book, so that when the child is being read to, they can handle these little implements that have been made out of construction paper or whatever. So for instance, if their book has flowers in it, they might make paper flowers, and it's amazing how much the kids love these items that they can hang on to and listen to the story at the same time.
Yeah, because not everybody learns the same way.
That's right. They don't.
Yeah, and you're going to tell us the 3 different types of learning?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, it was a silly question. There's visual, there's hands-on, and then there's reading, writing, and actually doing, or something like that.
Okay.
And I know people, for example, you can explain to them anything, but if they don't actually do it, they don't get it.
Right. It's like on-the-job training is more beneficial to some people than actually sitting in a classroom and learning about it.
A good example of that is webinars. I cannot get webinars.
Really?
They go right over my head, but if I have an instructor beside me showing me how to do something and then I do it, or if I have, say, a lecturer and I'm taking notes while he's talking and I'm writing it down and I'm listening to him and then actually feeding some of the stuff back to him. So it's a multi-pronged approach then, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. And that brings up a point that I'd like to make. In our health initiative, we can go into businesses who would have us go in. We have a worksite wellness program, which is really basically an education program for the employees to learn how to live healthier lives. What foods that they should be eating in order to become healthier, what types of physical activity they should be doing in order to become healthier. We have a whole program set up for that, and we have done some in the St. J area, and they've been very successful.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How do you promote health? But
well, that's only one aspect of it. We also collaborate with the hospitals in our areas.
Okay.
So I collaborate with North Country Hospital, and I am a member of their community health team, as are many other people. And it's all, we come together and share information so that the patients of the providers will be able to access better care. The providers will learn where all the benefits are out there for their patients. And I've seen some great success in that. I've seen some people who have come in with a problem for a particular client of theirs and not knowing where to turn to give them the help they need. And somebody sitting at that table will say, well, we have a program in our organization that might be able to help you, or that sort of thing. So it's a real collaborative effort.
And so coordination of services is very important also, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
And do you work with state agencies too?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Very much with the Department of Health.
Oh, so you're working with the Department of Health? Okay.
Yes.
Good. I have later on after the show, I have a question I want to ask you about that. Something that's very close to me, but I won't take up your time here. So the health concerns can be for any age, from a baby all the way up to senior citizen then?
Yes.
And that must be kind of challenging to have to serve that broad of a base.
Well, what the difference about the United Way is that we don't actually have clients of our own.
Okay.
A lot of our work is collaborative, so that and specifically for me, it's marketing that information out to the general public rather than working with individuals. So one thing that we do is we promote community gardens. Now, there are several in our area.
That's impressive. I think that's pretty cool.
It's very important for people to be able to access fresh vegetables and fresh fruit, where many times they can't afford to go to the stores or to farmers markets to buy these items. But yet, if they can go and volunteer time in a community garden, they would then be able to receive some of that food in exchange for their volunteer hours.
Well, that sounds like a good program to me.
It is.
Sounds like a great program.
It's a very good program. So that's one thing that we promote very heavily.
One other thing I was going to ask you about was part of your mission statement was to provide for basic needs.
Yes.
And how do you accomplish that?
Well, basic needs for us really means, first of all, to promote Vermont 211. Now, I don't know if you are
Please explain that.
Okay.
For anybody that doesn't know what that is,
That's
please,
right.
please explain it.
Vermont 211 is a vital, vital program for the people, for people of all ages, really. It's not an emergency number like 911 is,
Okay.
but it's a number that you can call to receive any answers that you might have for health and human service questions.
Okay.
This is a call center in Chittenden County,
Okay.
and they have people on staff, call specialists, who are there 24/7, and they won't give you the resources that you need, depending on what your question is, but they will direct you to the proper phone number or agency that you should be talking to get your specific answers.
So they will help you find the agency that's correct for you then.
That's right. That's right. So if your question or problem relates to something that a state agency would be able to help you with, if you've ever opened up the phone book and looked through for state of Vermont phone numbers to find the right number, it's pretty overwhelming.
Good luck.
That's right, exactly. There are pages and pages of numbers and names of agencies that you have no idea if that's the right one or not.
An individual almost needs his own case manager, doesn't he?
Right, right. Vermont 211 can pinpoint exactly which agency, which office, which phone number to call.
So you
to
just
get your answers.
pick up the phone and you dial 211?
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
211. Very simple.
That's simple.
It's toll-free. It's confidential. And, you know, many times you don't need confidentiality, but it is confidential,
Right.
one way or the other. They keep track of calls on housing, food insecurity, and if you need legal aid assistance, or if you're looking for a good daycare, if you just moved to the area and you're not sure which daycare you should be trying to get your kids into, they can help you with that. There's a, you know, if you're looking for the local AA meetings,
Oh, okay.
or Narcotics Anonymous meetings, or
Al-Anon meetings?
Al-Anon, any of those, they have those all listed and how to contact them.
So there really isn't any excuse to not get help if you need it. You can pretty much get help.
Yes, you're right. There are some things in the state of Vermont where there is no funding available, but most of the time they can figure out a problem and get you some kind of help.
Okay.
Okay.
It seems like you've got quite a vast network going.
We do. And Vermont 211 is partially funded by the United Ways of Vermont. So this is very close to our hearts. We worked very hard over the years to get this up and running. And they've been at it for about 10 years now, Vermont 211 has.
Okay.
And they've been extremely successful. The number of calls rises every year. Unfortunately, that's not always a good thing, because you realize that there's a lot of people with needs out there, and
Right.
you wish that that would change so that they wouldn't have the needs. But if the number of calls are rising, that means people are more in tune with what's out there, and they can call 211 to find out where they can get the help they need. So
And when you call 211, where exactly is that located?
that's in Essex.
It's in Essex, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And but they have an extremely big database in front of them. They have over 8,000 nonprofit programs listed in the whole state of Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And but they can regionalize it so that if you're in Newport, they aren't going to be recommending that you contact somebody in Bennington, let's say.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to regionalize it for the Northeast Kingdom or Newport area, or you know, depending on what your problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's only one aspect of basic needs. Another thing that we do is we provide free prescription drug discount cards for people who do not have medical insurance or don't have prescription drug insurance,
Mm-hmm.
or if their particular medication is not covered by their insurance.
Okay.
Okay. These cards are, you can have one card per family. They can be used over and over and over. All local pharmacies accept them. And generally, they average 30 to 40% discount on those meds. So that can be pretty significant for some people.
Okay. And is this based on income or
No.
need? No. So
No.
anybody, say for example, somebody needed a specific type of medication, but their insurance wouldn't pay for it, then this would help.
You could, yes, yeah. The only people that cannot use these cards are people who are on Medicaid or Medicare.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay? They have their own programs for those people.
Right.
But other people who, you know, the average working person who might not have medical insurance or might not have prescription drug insurance, this is a great thing for them. And this is done by a nonprofit called FamilyWise.
Okay.
That is affiliated with the United Way. They're a nonprofit, and they keep track on a monthly basis of the number of times that these cards are used in each county.
Oh, okay.
And this is all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And every month I get reports. And right now, I think over the last, since this started in 2007, they've helped nearly 2,000 people in our 5 counties.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and they've saved us, I'm talking about those 2,000 people, saved approximately $200,000 since 2007.
Well, that's a pretty impressive number, isn't
That's
it?
a big number, very big number. Yeah.
Now, the people utilizing these cards, has it increased or decreased over the years?
Oh, it increases all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which would lead us to another question about insurance and healthcare and all that, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to let you
No.
do. You have some more stuff to share with us?
I do. One other item in basic needs is that we heavily promote the E911 care program. I'm not
Okay.
sure if you're familiar with that,
No,
but
no, please explain it.
this is something new that started last year. And this was started by a United Way here in Vermont. I believe it was the executive director of the United Way of Lamoille County who had this idea, and it has really been very successful. We realize that there are elderly and disabled people who would have a real hard time leaving their home in case of an emergency or evacuation.
Okay, yep, I understand.
And until the first responders get to their home, those first responders don't know what they're going to expect when they get there.
Right.
They may know there's a fire there, but who's inside? Does this person have special needs?
Right.
So there's this one-page form that these elderly or disabled people can fill out to tell the first responders what special needs they have. In other words, do they need a wheelchair in order to get around? Are they on oxygen all the time, so that they would need to get their oxygen out there with them?
Okay.
Do they have a service animal? Do they need transportation to get someplace away from the emergency? So when they fill out that form, then it goes back to E911, and all of that information is entered into the E911 database for that particular E911 address. And then first responders have that information immediately. When the emergency call comes in, they can see, oh, this person's in a wheelchair. We've got to get in there and help them get out of the house, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So this has become very successful, and our role in this is to market it out, to make sure that people know that this program is out there and that they should fill out the form and get it back to us or to E911.
Okay.
I mean, the form tells you exactly where you should send it and everything. So
Now, you take donations, I assume?
we do.
Okay.
Of course.
So the next question is, how does someone donate to Green Mountain United Way? And I'm assuming this is tax deductible, correct?
Certainly. We are a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay.
And
So we're expecting all of you out there to start donating immediately? I'm joking. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Anybody wanting to send us a check can make it payable to Green Mountain United Way, and they can send it to my address in Derby Line, not my address, but the office address, which is P.O. Box 33, Derby Line, Vermont, 05830. You can donate online on our website, which is www.gmunitedway.org.
And we will have that graphic up there, folks.
And there is a donate button right on our home page, which is very simple, leads you right to the page where you can easily donate. It'll give you again the information as how to donate by check or online, or there's other planned giving options, all kinds of options. So.
And have you noticed donations going up over the years or staying stagnant,
well,
or what?
Since the recession in 2008, things started going down, but that's a trend that all nonprofits have experienced, unfortunately. But it's starting to go back up. Starting to. It's a slow process, but our goal this year is to raise $550,000. Sounds like a big amount, but over the 5 counties, we're confident that we can do it. We've done it before. Last year we received donations and pledges totaling $515,000.
Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Very good. It's very good.
And it may seem like a big number, folks, but you know, if everybody pitches in a little bit, it really isn't.
That's right.
You know, when you consider
That's right.
other things.
Last year, 63% of our donations came from people in businesses, employees of businesses, who choose to pledge so much out of each paycheck.
No.
That's an easy way to donate.
Oh, definitely.
Because you can give, let's say, $2 or $5 out of a paycheck, and after you get used to that new pay amount, you forget that it's being taken out. And it really doesn't hurt. And at the end of the year, you will have given more than you probably would have had you written a one-time check.
We have to wrap up because we have a half-hour show. But
Okay.
I wanted to ask you any final parting words that you want to tell our audience out there.
Well, yes. If anybody is wondering if our fundraising expenses are really high, where their donated dollar would not really be helping the people out there who are really in need, I'm hoping that I can change your minds on that, because last year, actually in 2014, our fundraising expense was 6.18%. In other words, just about 94 cents of the donated dollar goes to help local people receive the services that they deserve.
Well, to me, that says it all, because too many times we hear about charitable organizations where the bulk of the money goes into the administration.
That's right.
And
That's
so I want to commend you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And I want to invite you to come back again in a while, and we can do like an update. But it's been a pleasure having you on, Madeliene.
Thank you very much.
And I hope we've covered enough today. And whatever we haven't covered, we will definitely cover again.
We'll do chapter 2 some other time.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, Madeliene, very much for being on our show today.
Thank you for inviting me.
This is Terry Difazio for Dial It Up on NEK-TV, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good day.